Hey guys, so today's video is a tutorial on this look right here. I love this look. I think I say that for every tutorial because honestly I only share with you guys looks that I actually really like and I would wear this out in public. Like, this is beautiful. I love the contrast of that orange. It's all matte on the upper lid area, some intense shimmers and a really beautiful pop of a kind of greenish mermaidy type color. So I was inspired by the NYX Prismatic eyeshadow in the shade Mermaid, which is what I'm wearing in the inner corner. I busted out a new palette that I've had for months that I totally forgot about. It's the Makeup Revolution Mermaids Forever palette, which has very kind of aquatic type shades. So I thought, why not pair that with a bold, kind of orangey, kind of smoky color on the upper lid? So that is what I did for you guys today. You asked for more dramatic looks, so I'm doing these for you. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. I will have everything listed down below in the description box in the order that I use them, and I will also give you some alternatives for some different shades if you don't have the ones I'm using in this tutorial. So if you want to see how to do the eyes, then keep watching and I'll show you exactly how to do it. Alright, to start this look off, I'm going to be using the matte eyeshadow palette from Sonia Kashuk and taking the three sort of skin tone type colors and mixing them all together and applying them all over the lid to set my concealer so that no eyeshadow catches and blends better. Then with a crease brush, I'm going to take this soft peach color. If you don't have this, you could use Peach Smoothie by Makeup Geek, and I'll list the alternatives for some of these colors down below just in case you don't have these particular ones. But anyways, what I'm doing is taking that color on the crease brush, and I'm not being too careful with this. This is just going to help with the blending process as we go and as we add color. So I'm just applying this pretty heavily, I would say, just to kind of get that base kind of warm, peachy, orangey type color going before we go in with the lid color, which is very intense, but it will help. I promise it will help with blending later on. Next, I'm going to take this soft kind of blush pinky color from the Sonia Kashuk palette, and I'm going to add a little bit more over the top of that peach just to add a bit more of a pinky peach twist to this. I don't know, I just felt like doing it, and honestly, it's not something you have to do. I just did it, and I like the way it looked, so you could add a little bit of a pinky color or not, you don't have to. And then I'm just going to kind of soften that out with the same brush that I used to apply the base color. Then with this Vasanti eyeshadow brush, which I got in my Ipsy bag, I believe last month, which is a phenomenal brush by the way, I'm going to take the color called Morocco by Makeup Geek, which is a very intense orange color. I love this color. It is my favorite from the matte line from Makeup Geek, and I'm applying that all over my lid. Now, as you see here, I am sort of kind of patting and applying this before I start swiping just to make sure there's no fallout, and I do use my beauty blender. Almost got tongue twisted there. I use my beauty blender to help hold my eye a little bit taut so that I can really expose my entire lid area because I want to make sure that there is not a space between the orange and my crease. So just applying this, and you can add as much or as little as you want. And again, like I said before, alternatives for this orange will be listed for you down below. Some will be deeper, more orangey, kind of warm tone tans. Some will be darker. Some will be kind of close in color from a different variety of brands to give you guys some options. So moving on, I'm going to go in with this very warm tan color. I love it. It is from the Makeup Revolution Neutrals versus Neutrals palette, and I'm just going to take this with a pencil brush. This is the MAC 219, and I'm going to start basically carving out my natural crease exactly where it is naturally. I'm not doing any exaggerated shapes. I'm not doing anything crazy. It does look intense as I start applying it because I haven't blended, so I'm just basically placing the color with my pencil brush. I feel like that gives me more precise application with the color, and it helps keep it on the thinner side. I don't want it to be too thick where it goes up too high to my brow bone. If I use something thicker as far as brush wise, it will get up too high. So that's just a little tip. If you want to keep it lower, use a pencil brush. And then with a pointed crease brush, This one is by Zoeva. I'm going to start blending this. And I did have to fast forward this because I was here for a long time. Like, I had a cramp in my hand. So all I do is just add more with the pencil brush until I get to that intensity that I prefer. And then I go in with the crease brush and start blending and rocking that brush back and forth, window sweeping motions just to soften out the edges. Keep that intensity, but make sure the edges are blended. So it's a little work in progress, but it pays off in the end when everything is smooth and blended, and it gives you that bit of depth in the crease. And that contrast with that color versus that really bright orange on the lid, it's beautiful. I love it. And so I went ahead and added a little bit more peach with the same crease brush that I used to apply it. And this is the peach from the Sonia Kashuk palette, just to soften out those edges and add a little bit more peachiness to it, just because, I don't know, I felt like doing it. And it just sort of ties everything together. So here I am taking a makeup wipe and removing any excess. I did get some of the orange from the lid color into my inner tear duct, and as you can see, there is a bright aqua color. This one is called Mermaid from NYX. It's part of their Prismatic shadows. It is beautiful. I'm applying that with a pencil brush. This is also a brush from Zoeva, and I'm applying this pretty heavily in the inner corner. I'm not gonna lie, I went a little crazy. You don't have to do it this intense. You can tone it down. You can use any color you want, whatever you feel like using. And I did a little mistake. I forgot to use my concealer first before applying it, so that's what I'm doing. Using two concealers, one from Maybelline that's a little lighter in the inner part to brighten, and then the light shade from the Urban Decay Naked Skin Concealer. And I'm using my Beauty Blender slightly damp, and what I'm going to do is once I have my concealer blended, I'm going to start sort of using that sponge to create that sharp line on the outer corner with my shadows. So you don't have to use tape. You can just use a little concealer and a little sponge applicator to get that shape just right. And it's pretty easy. And of course, you have to set it to prevent creasing. So I use the Cinema Secrets Ultralucent. Not sure how I feel about this. It almost has like a grayish cast to it. Really bizarre, because I used to use the Laura Mercier, which has more of a skin tone kind of color to it. And I think I might prefer the Laura Mercier a little bit better, but I'm going to still give this a go to see how it works. And then I'm going to soften out the edges of my eyeshadow because I felt like it was just a little too sharp, and that wasn't an intentional thing, by the way. It just ended up happening on one eye, so I had to do it to the other eye. Now for the lower lash line, I'm taking a flat definer brush and the Ultra Eyeshadows by Makeup Revolution. This is the Mermaids Forever palette. Such a cute name and beautiful colors. I'm going to start with the two teal shades, or they're more like a turquoise type color. I'm going to mix both of them together. They're exactly identical. There's not much of a difference. And I'm going to start applying that into the middle section of my under eye area, basically creating an ombre effect from that NYX color into that teal. And I'm just sort of applying it pretty heavily. Surprisingly, there wasn't a lot of fallout with this eyeshadow. Then with the same brush, I'm going to go in with this sort of mid-tone blue and this kind of purpley blue color that has, both have shimmer. And yes, I have to take a phone call. My son said that I had a phone call waiting for me on his phone. So, so I'm taking the phone call because I don't want to be rude. Anyway, so back to the eyeshadow. I'm just applying the blue colors on the outer half and basically blending that into that teal. So we have sort of an ombre from like an icy aqua color to a teal, turquoise to a blue. I love the contrast between these colors and that orange. And then to make the waterline pop, I'm using the Ardency and Modster eyeliner, and this is in the shade dark blue. This is what it looks like. It's not really that dark. It's more of like a royal blue, and you could do whatever color you wanted here. You could do purple, which I almost did. That would look beautiful. You could do black. You could do nude. Heck, you could even skip it if you don't want to do it. But I think that this blue looked so pretty with it, so I went for it. And then I'm just sort of softening out the edges to make sure that that liner blends in with all of the eyeshadows. So I'm going to do some eyeliner, and I'm using the Tattoo Liner by Kat Von D, and I'm just doing a very thin line. You could do a thick line, you could do a wing. It's totally by preference here. I wanted to do something very thin because I didn't want a thick liner to really take up all the space on my lid or my lash line where it takes away from the eyeshadow. I really wanted that shadow to pop as much as possible. So I used just a thin line of liquid liner, and then I'm tight lining the upper lash line with another Ardency and Modster liner. This is just the black one of my favorites. It works so well, so creamy. It doesn't take a lot of work at all to get this to show up in the waterline. I had a little mishap with the lashes that I wanted to use, which I will explain here in a little while exactly what happened, but this is the completed look. I love it. I think it's perfect. Great summer look. Alright, so the eyes are complete. I did not show the mascara and false eyelash application because I was having some difficulties. The pair that I wanted to use were not cooperating. They kept like turning up, one of them in particular, so I got lash glue all over my lashes and I was not about to start all over. So I ended up using the Kiss Lash Trios, which I've talked about before. These are my favorite. I feel like these are so much easier to apply than a strip of lash anyways. So I'm using these, and I'm still giving the House of Lashes glue another go because they didn't quite work well with my lashes a few days ago. So I'm still working on that glue. I think it's okay. I usually use the duo, so we're gonna make it through. I have, just so you know, I applied 3 of the mediums on the outer corners and then 1 of the short to kind of blend those into my real lashes so that it looks a little bit more seamless, like more blended into my natural lash. And this eye is giving me some problem because all of my real lashes are coated with eyelash glue because those are the ones failed me. Thank you, lashes. So anyways, that is the entire look. I will have everything listed below, like I said in the beginning of the video. I hope that you like this. Let me know down below in the comment section what you want to see next. Any sort of tutorials, product reviews, any looks with specific palettes. Let me know because I want to do videos that you guys want to see. I do appreciate your time with me today, and I hope that you liked it enough to subscribe. And if you are a subscriber of mine, thank you so much for watching this video. It means the world to me. Please thumbs up the video, like it, share with your friends and family, and I will talk to you all very soon.